Hi, welcome to our Thursday T&T. Big thanks to Gordon for all these shirts. A bigger thank you to you and a bit more comprehensive on the Grumpy Old Men program because the other gift was for me and Steve for the shoes. Steve is loving his red leather shoes. I think he's meeting the governor of Pattaya tomorrow, so I think he's going to be wearing the red shoes. Make sure he doesn't tap them together 3 times. Now, an update on a story yesterday. The story was updated only half an hour after it was written by the Bangkok Post, and this update, new overseas income rules proposed, adoption of worldwide income principle could have major implications for taxpayers. So they changed the focus of the article from what was happening specifically here in Thailand to try and tie it into, some sort of worldwide movement regarding taxation. And the Revenue Department is preparing to amend the law to collect taxes from individuals who have income from abroad, even if that income is not brought into the country. The new system would be based on the widely recognised principle of worldwide income. This from the Director General of the Revenue Department. Now, we should add that all these changes in the tax laws are 100% relevant to Thais as much as they are to foreigners. And related to pensions, expats in Thailand, meanwhile, have raised questions about tax treatment of pension income from past employment when that money is brought into Thailand. If this money is taxed in their home country, and that country is one of 61 that have agreements with Thailand to prevent double taxation, in theory, there should be no problem, but debates about interpretation of the law are ongoing. And those debates do continue. I mean, anytime I speak to expats, this topic always seems to come up. And probably the Revenue Department can't clarify the situation because there's no black and white answer. It is going to depend on so many individual factors related to your particular tax situation. So as I continue to do, and I understand that it's confusing for them as well, tax lawyers and tax accountants in Thailand, like Thai tax lawyers, are probably your best bet to get some sort of answer at the moment. I'd probably be consulting 2 or 3 of them rather than just relying on one. Now, moving to this next story, this is also in the Bangkok Post, move to allow importation of certain cars. Now, the importation of cars has been a hot issue for a lot of people who wanted to bring their car, sometimes a classic car, to Thailand. So I thought, this headline looks promising. Maybe not. When you get into the guts of it, the Foreign Trade Department has launched a public hearing concerning an amendment to a notification that would allow certain kinds of classic car to be imported for promotion in events. So that doesn't really mean you can bring your 1977 Lotus Esprit into Thailand and drive around Pattaya with your arm resting on the window. The Director General of the department said the agency has drafted a new notification for the Commerce Ministry regarding this category of used vehicle, and the notification concerns certain types of used vehicle imports that are prohibited or require permission, with an exemption for the personal car category under the tariff classification blah 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 for vintage cars, excluding motorcycles and other vehicles that are regulated by the Excise Department. So if you were thinking of bringing some sort of classic car into Thailand, well, it looks like there might be more possibilities now than in the past. We'll wait and see. Heading to Pattaya now. This is from thepattayanews.com. Fishing boat capsizes in Chon Buri. 1 man survives, captain missing. It happened on June the 5th near the dam at the Laem Chabang port in Chon Buri. A fishing umbrella boat capsized about 1.2 nautical miles from the mouth of the Banglamung Canal. And there were 2 people on board, a 23-year-old Cambodian and the boat owner, who was aged 50. The boat had a leak and strong waves caused it to capsize. Now, Mr. Chang managed to swim back to the shore by holding to a fuel tank, but the boat owner disappeared after having previously been seen hanging onto a plank. Rescue workers haven't found him yet, and the search team continues to patrol the coast and the area near the shipwreck. So fingers crossed for a good end to that story. Hopefully the weather improves. Now, to a story also in Pattaya with links to Phuket, and this is reported in calsotenglish.com. Aussie hardened criminal caught in Pattaya after fleeing Phuket. The caption says an Australian man with links to a foreign criminal network has been arrested in a luxury housing estate in Pattaya. And Immigration have announced the arrest of a 52-year-old Mr. Gray, an Australian national, whose permission to stay in the kingdom has been revoked due to his behaviour being linked to a foreign criminal network in Phuket. Gray also has an arrest warrant in Australia and a criminal record, having previously served a prison sentence in Australia for drug-related offences. He also has an arrest warrant for drug trafficking and possession of drugs. Looks like he's in possession of a couple of nice bikes as well. And this case stemmed from the arrest of a British man by Geelong police in Phuket for carrying a gun into a pub. Upon further investigation, a connection to Mr. Gray was found. Gray's behaviour was then reported to the Foreign Affairs Division and Immigration for consideration and action under the Immigration Act. So it appears he might be heading back to Australia a bit earlier than he had intended. Heading to Lopburi in central Thailand now. This from The Nation. Monkey business. Lopburi launches macaque roundup operation, and some 800 to 1,000 primates will be captured, sterilised, tattooed for identification, and sent to Monkey Zoo in the city area of Lopburi. Interesting that this story is making the headlines now. I thought they were doing this about 3 months ago, but perhaps the monkeys had different ideas. And a new round of capturing long-tailed macaques in Lopburi's old town kicked off on Wednesday, that's yesterday, in a bid to reduce the monkey population, which has become a nuisance to residents. The DNP advised the municipality to start rounding up the monkeys and shifting them to the zoo. The first round of operations from April 24 to 28, resulted in 288 macaques being captured and sterilised before being sent to the monkey zoo. So less macaques in Lopburi. I've had some interfaces with these macaques. Pretty savage little beasties if you get a bit close. For example, if they want to take your phone or wallet, just let them. You don't want to have a fight with these animals. Big fangs. And they can make a bit of a mess of you too. To this story also in The Nation. Thailand facing a mental health crisis, according to a report. And recent findings from the Bangkok Mental Health Hospital have revealed a worrisome reality. Some 10 million Thais are grappling with mental health issues, and only 2 million have sought treatment. The CEO of the hospital said that though the demand for specialty hospitals, like those treating mental health issues, is rising, there are few players in the market due to scarcity of skilled professionals. And data from the Department of Mental Health shows that last year there were 4.5% of Thais suffering high levels of stress, 5.8% were at risk of depression, and 3.2% considered suicide. And those figures rose even higher this year. It looks like the figures from 2023 tripled up to this year. Well, there's a lot to unpack there, and I think we understand that the notion of mental health generally is not widely discussed in Thailand, and that these figures, they could be a little bit exaggerated, but I think they point to the fact that there's now a greater understanding and more discussion happening in families about issues of mental health. Now, it's also a big issue for a lot of expats who get stuck here, get caught up in various situations and have a lot of mental stress and sometimes mental disorders as well. And they deserve our compassion and our consideration. Maybe today it's an opportunity to perhaps contact one of your expat friends, check up on them and make sure they're okay. And with thanks to our sponsors, 5 Star Marine at 5starmarinephuket.com. You can check up on the destinations they go to, some testimonials from customers, lots of pretty pictures and sort of pictures that you can take for yourself as well when you head out with 5 Star Marine. And also to Beach House Thailand for a bespoke stay in a fully renovated beach house right on the beach here at PHANG. All right, to this story from Council English, a bit of a sad story, but with a happy ending. Council English on their Facebook page report SOS Animal Thailand Foundation, a dog rescue group, filed a police complaint against a female dog owner who punished her pregnant Siberian Husky, who stole her food by pouring boiled water, should be, onto the dog across its back. The dog's since been adopted after the video spread online, but the owner later said she was under stress and had quarrelled with her boyfriend, and she made the move and urged netizens not to reprimand her family members. The dog had to be treated for skin burns. A photo there of the dog in happier times, but good news. And a later post says that a pregnant Siberian Husky named Lek Lek, who appeared in a news clip being scalded with hot water by her former female owner until she whimpered and was injured, has started a new life with new owners, a married couple who own a Korean fried chicken restaurant. I think there's going to be a few extra treats for Lek Lek, as she now has a playmate, a 2-month-old bulldog. Let me tell you, that bulldog looks a lot older than 2 months, or if it is 2 months, it's going to be a very big dog. The veterinarian said Lek Lek is likely to have 4 to 6 puppies and is expected to give birth in 10 days. The wounds from the hot water scalding have dried. Her new owners are taking good care of her. So good luck to Lek Lek, and happy times with her new owners. Should be a bit of a carnival around there with all those new puppies. But that's the way we see the news today. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date. Please subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, have a great Thursday. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow.